Hey guys, so I'm very happy to see you here today. So my name is Maor Farid. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Leo AI. And the reason that I'm very happy to see you here today stems from our mission at Leo AI. Our mission is to bring engineering design into the AI era. And we're doing so by empowering more engineers like you, like us, with an advanced AI technology that will allow all of us to design better future, better products by rethinking engineering design as an AI-centric process from the ground up. And we're doing so by building our own foundational model. We call it the world's first LMM, large mechanical model. But before delving into the details, I want to tell you something that I want you to keep in your mind. The goal here, of course, is to share with you everything that we do, our plans, what Leo does today, what Leo doesn't do today, and what it will never do in the future, maybe. But the main motivation for us is to hear your feedback. Because the mission to rethink engineering design from the ground up as an AI-centric process, blah, 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 it's basically impossible if we're not aware on what you are facing, what are the challenges that you are banging your head against. So, of course, in a second, you're going to see the agenda for today, but please keep in your mind, we are eager to hear your feedback. So please share this with us today. Before I'll talk about what we have on the agenda, I'll introduce myself a little bit better. So basically, my dream as a teenager was to be a mechanical engineer. And it started from the first day when I was in ninth grade that I've seen SolidWorks. I started to work with SolidWorks. I remember it's like it was yesterday. It was in school, and I've seen a computer with SolidWorks on. I went there and I started to work with it. And then my imagination basically, was in the sky. So from this moment on, I dreamt to be a mechanical engineer. So when I was drafted to the Israeli army, like every 18 years old guy in Israel, I went to Brakim program. Brakim is an elite program for mechanical engineers in the Israeli army. So there, basically, I completed my bachelor's, master's, and PhD at the Technion, majoring in mechanical engineering. And then I was positioned in the Israeli Prime Minister's office. Then I realized that I probably made the worst mistake of my life, that I went to study mechanical engineering, because I've seen how tedious the process is. We're going to talk about it in a bit. So I pivoted my career into AI. So I started to work as an AI researcher in the Israeli NSA. It's called Unit 8200. We developed AI algorithms there. I finished my service, and using Fulbright scholarship, I went to MIT to pursue my postdoctoral training, again, at the Department of Mechanical Engineering, in the lab that does the researches the intersection between mechanical engineering and the AI domain. Then I went to Harvard Kennedy School Leadership Program and came back to establish Leo AI with my best friend, the most brilliant person that I know, Moti Moravia, and he's our CTO. We're gonna hear him in a bit. So the agenda for today. First, we're gonna talk about the problem. Then we're gonna talk about the vision, how us in Leo AI, we think about tackling this problem. In other terms, how we imagine engineering design, how it's gonna be in the next 5 years, in 2030, right? How human engineers are gonna design stuff. Then we're gonna see Leo in action, which is basically the most, I guess for you, the most interesting part or the most compelling and intriguing part. So we're gonna see a live demo of our product manager, Eitan Steinberg here. And then we're gonna see what comes next. And then Moti Moravia, our CTO and co-founder, is gonna show you the first stuff from the oven, right? What Leo is able to do today, but will meet you, our customers, our users, just in a few weeks or in a few months. Then we're going to talk about the special offers, only for the people that come, you guys, that here on our webinar here with us. We're going to see exclusive offers and discounts that basically for everyone else, you have the opportunity for limited time, just for 24 hours, and also the opportunity to join us in rethinking engineering design or changing how our profession is going to look like in the next year, 2 years, and 5 years ahead. And again, this is only for you guys here on the webinar. Then the Q&A session. In this part, we are eager to hear your feedback, questions, and any requests that you will tell us, look, guys, please, I love Leo or hate Leo, but please design this and that for me. We're eager to hear this as well. So let's talk about the problem that we come to solve. You remember what I told you about my experience as a mechanical engineer? I know it's not only my experience. I know it's very common to all of us mechanical engineers. The process is extremely tedious, and a lot of us, even some of the most talented people in our profession, sometimes decide to leave the profession. And the reason is, after surveying and interviewing them, is that what we dreamt or what we thought that mechanical engineering is or product design is, right? Tackling significant problems with creative and innovative principles. This is only 5% of the time. This is only the conceptualization stage. This is when the magic happens, if you will. But just all the rest, it's just a manual, tedious, repetitive process in which us, human engineers, taking our ideas that we have in our minds and transforming it into the 3D domain, right? Into the real world. So it's the preliminary design, then the detailed design, finding the parts on hard copy books, on online catalogs, on our PLM, then going through revision cycles with our peers and mentors and supervisors, the drawing, God forbid. So you know how tedious and costly the process is. Just as a quick example, right? You know, the stories tell that Tesla, when they started to design the Model Y, according to the stories, it took something like 10 weeks to come up with the preliminary design. But then it took 3 years to put the rubber on the road. And delay-related losses were estimated on over $100 billion, most of which were attributable to the lack of efficiencies of the design process. So it's not only not fun, but very costly and painful in terms of revenue. So for some of you that maybe are not from the field, I know that the vast majority of us are mechanical engineers. This is just a quick example of what mechanical engineering and product design are. Again, this is the tediousness of the process, right? 10 different stages. For example, here we're one engineer with 10 years of experience trying to add 2 bolts to an existing Hummer vehicle. As you can see here, he's going through 10 different stages, from measuring on the CAD software the diameter of the hole, trying to find on Google the right table with the clearances and the tolerances, then the formulas for the normal stress, the shear stress, the von Mises stress, all of this. Only this very small task took 1 hour and 52 minutes, right? This is how slow the process is. Before showing you our solution, let's take a step back and let's overview the history of product design. If you're thinking about it, the Apollo 11 and the pyramids were designed in a pretty similar way, right? It was pen and paper, man, pen, paper. But then the computer was introduced. When the computer was introduced, CAD was inevitable. Computer-aided design was inevitable. And people started to work with computers to design stuff. Now, when AI was introduced, AI-centric design process is inevitable. We all know that people are going to design cups, laptops, spaceships using AI and computers. No one really knows how it's going to look like. And this is what we want to bring to the world. We want to rethink engineering design as an AI-centric process. We call it the AICD era, AI-centric design era, like the CAD era, right? Computer-aided design. So we believe that AI is not gonna only be of assistance, but to be rooted and centric in the process. So before sharing with you what we are doing today, what you're able to do today with Leo, I want to share with you our vision. One day you will be able to log in into Leo and tell, hey Leo, design a truck for me, which based on the previous design that I have, right? The previous truck design that I designed last year, but it has to be 15% more carbon efficient and 20% faster. And Leo will tell you, oh, no problem, but you have to change the engine. You have this engine on your inventory, or this engine by Hyundai, for example. What do you choose? And you would say, I have no idea. Give me a table with pros and cons, something that I can work with. And Leo, everything using voice, Leo will tell you, no problem. And it provide you a table with pros and cons based on your organizational best practices, based on your organization knowledge, and also based on the technical specifications of both engines. And then you will make a data-informed decision, which is good for your organization. And when you will choose the engine, Leo will tell you, you got it. And it will take the new engine and integrate it into a new assembly for you. And in this fashion, right, you understand that us engineers, we will bring the guidance, the vision, the requirements, but Leo is going to do the rest for us. So before writing even a single line of code, right, on May 2023, Moti and I and the team, right, that you can see here with us, we wanted to see that we're not alone, right? We're a team of AI researchers and mechanical engineers. Some of us has more than 10 years of experience in mechanical engineering, but we wanted to go out there and talk with you guys. So we interviewed and surveyed more than 900 mechanical engineers, from juniors to VP of engineering. And we itemized the most time-consuming tasks that you are facing. And this is what Leo does today for you. It covers the conceptualization stage, drafting technical specifications, getting answers to technical questions. But unlike ChatGPT, which is very prone to hallucinations, we're building our own foundational model. It means that our model is much less prone to hallucinations. It was trained to give you an answer based on high fidelity sources, the Bibles of mechanical engineering. And when it's not, it doesn't know the answer, it was trained to tell you, God, I don't know, right? Also, next part, selection, search, and retrieval integrated into existing CAD solutions. Last but not least, 3D and CAD generation. Here it's written coming soon, but as you will see, just 13 days ago, we launched our very first 3D mesh generation capabilities. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Eitan, our product manager, to take you through our live demo. So take it away, Eitan.
Yeah, so my name's Eitan. I know Maor and Moti from our bachelor degrees a while back. And until recently, actually, for the past like 10 years, I've been working as a mechanical engineer. But now I'm the product manager here at Leo AI. So let's talk about Leo. When you enter the app, this is basically the first screen you see. We treat this as our home screen. It's a chat interface, as you can see. And it works pretty much the same as you know from other AI chats, with one major difference, as Maor mentioned before, and I'll demonstrate with this little example. When Leo gives you an answer, it bases it off of a library of books, handbooks, standards, guides, and really high quality material that we gathered that's from pretty much every part of mechanical engineering and other engineering disciplines that are closely related to it. So when Leo gives you an answer, you can see for each section, for this section, for example, it gave you 3 sources. You can press on each source, go inside the book. It opens it up in the exact page where Leo took the answer, and you can use this to gain confidence in the answers that Leo gives you. You can also, it gives you some pages before and after you can use to actually learn more yourself if this is something you're researching. But basically, it saves you a lot of time for looking for the right book, looking through all the thousands of pages of that book, and finding the reference. And it does this on a big scale from many different parts of engineering. It gives you a really encompassing answer for every question and problem you have in engineering. Now, we use this interface also to access Leo's other features and abilities. And the second ability I want to talk about has to do with the initiation of any project or new product. Now, I'll tell Leo, I want to make something new for me, a water landing drone. It is a dual rotor drone with a searchlight and camera and inflatable skis for landing on water. And I want Leo to help me make a concept. Now, when I ask this type of question, Leo realizes what I'm trying to do is to make a concept. I'll tell it again, make a concept. And it'll transfer me automatically to our ideation module. You can also access this manually through the button here. Now, in this module, what Leo does after you give it your prompt, it creates a description, which is a more visual version of what you wrote. And it does this because Leo helps you at this stage where you only have an idea of what you want to do, but you don't have any assets to accompany it. Leo helps you create these assets. So the first type of asset are these 2D images that look like a rendered object. Sometimes they have glitches, but we can we have tools to fix all these glitches and create more and more concepts. Now, the method of work here is quantity over quality. So at this first stage, you don't really know necessarily what you want. You don't know exactly what's available out there. Again, this is something new. This isn't something you've done before. And you can actually do this as part of a group meeting. Suppose you're meeting with your managers and other non-technical people or yes, technical people, and everyone's talking together. So instead of everyone just talking in the air, you can work with Leo and get something more concrete. So in this iterative process, I can edit this prompt if I want to manually override. I can give it more things to consider, like make it for search and rescue. And Leo will edit the prompt itself and generate some new images based on that. I can upload a sketch if I know how to draw, and even if I don't know how to draw, Leo understands my sketches. I can upload a reference image, and basically I can do a lot of things until I either get the idea I had in my head the way I want it, or I get something completely new that is still good, it's still valid, but like a new original idea that I haven't thought of, like one of these. So these are the images. The second type of asset Leo generates is what we call a product summary. This is a kind of overview written down in a text document. Here you can see the preview. I can generate the full document here. This does take a few minutes because it generates a full like 9-10 page report. So we're not going to wait for that in this demo. This is a short demo. But you can generate documents, you can download them for later review. And in this document, it's a type of SOW document, like a scope of work. You'll get the different subsystems in the systems you're making, materials and standards to consider, and all sorts of tests, quality assurance, and other considerations you'll want to have written down when you start a project. So that's the second type of asset I get. And for the third type, I get this image. I kind of like this one. So I'll upscale it. I'll make it of a higher quality. And this is just to get like a good rendered image with more details. And the third asset I can make, I'll just wait for this to come up. The third asset, I'll base it again on this one, is a 3D asset. I'll do generate 3D. This does take a few seconds because it, generates from scratch. But you can see already in this upscaled version, the details are pretty nice. I can use this as the cover of my document. I can use this in presentations. This is a good way to convey my idea. Now let's just wait a few more seconds for the mesh to come up. And again, I just want to emphasize that all the features I'm showing you right now, ooh, this is nice. Not a bad model, if I may say so myself.
I see people applauding here.
Yeah, I'm
Wow,
glad.
that's a good work.
Well,
Wow.
look, this is,
My
I gotta
mama was
say,
right.
it's a statistical model, so it doesn't always come out like this. So when it doesn't come out great, you just got to try again. Again, it's an iterative process. Every time I generate a new 3D model, it's going to come out slightly different. And again, everything you see here is publicly available to all our users and customers and to you guys when you're going to start using Leo. Now, our third feature, and for that, I have already something. You can open up these models in SolidWorks, no problems. It opens up kind of like this, like a mesh. It does take a few, minutes because it's a mesh model. It's not a proper BREP CAD. And because of that reason, I already opened up this model that I saved from before. Now, in this example, I'm just showing one thing you can do with these models is use it, in this case, as the platform onto which I can integrate many different parts that I may have in my inventory or parts I like to use a lot. So I have this searchlight, antenna, and my own camera. Now I can remove these parts of the mesh. I can keep them on if I want. I can check out my parts to see how it looks in the final version. I can also use, if I made a component, a mesh part that's a component of something else, I can use it to represent my part until I actually have a part. and get a fuller view of the model. But in this case, what I really want to see is that all my parts kind of fit together properly, maybe measure the approximate distances between them to get good estimations for different parts of my project. And what you see now, I'm using Leo's desktop app, which I recommend using. It's more comfortable. You can use it online, but this is more comfortable. When you download the desktop app, what you get inside SolidWorks is the ability to start Leo from within SolidWorks. And what this allows you is to use our third feature inside of SolidWorks, and I'll demonstrate it right away. But first, this feature is all about standard parts. So anyone who's done engineering knows that engineers deal with a lot of standard parts. It's very convenient, but it's also very tedious. You need to go through a lot of vendors, a lot of catalogs, searching. You got to measure the dimensions you need, find it in the right catalog, in the right row of the table, and do that over and over until you find the part that actually fits you. And here in Leo, we kind of make a shortcut for this. I have for this searchlight, let's say I want to replace the base. I want to put a bearing on this axis instead of the base, instead of the fixed base. I can use a shortcut on my keyboard and mark the surface, and I'll get this box pop up. All I do is write in bearing, and Leo's going to help me find a bearing that fits this specific geometry. Now, I just wrote down bearing, very generic. I can write down way more specific requirements. I already tried this one. I know it works. And Leo's going to pop this bearing right inside the model. I'll just drag it up to see if it fits. Oop, a little bit high. Yeah, nothing's fixed here, so it's all gonna. Just drag this over. Oopa. Well, whatever. You can see it fits. It's the right fit. And the nice thing about using a language model for this is that I can actually ask instead of getting exactly all the parameters right and search for those, and I can do that, but I can search, for instance, for the strongest, the biggest, the most, the best for corrosive environment. I'll demonstrate this in a sec. For this drone, I have this drone, and I want to find motors for it, but I don't want them to weigh too much. So I want to ask Leo, find the strongest motor that weighs under 2 kilos. And Leo takes my intention from here. And instead of me, again, going over each catalog, looking at the different parameters until I find the weight, and then seeing from all the motors that weigh under 2 kilos, which one is the strongest, Leo does all of this for me. And all of this really is just meant to help me get a faster start for my project and reduce all of the tediousness of going back and forth through catalogs and measurements and all of that. So these 3 features, the engineering chat, ideation, and part retrieval, these are the 3 features we offer right now publicly. We're improving them all the time, improving the 2D, 3D generation. We're going to add to part retrieval, we're going to add pretty much any vendor you can think of globally. We're also going to add something that we call a sync directory, which allows you to give Leo access to a directory in your computer or network, add parts that you want to reuse into that directory, and Leo will treat them as standard parts. Now, it's not only going to search them with based on their name or their properties, it's going to search their actual 3D geometry. So even if you didn't save it properly, even if you were lazy, Leo's going to find your parts, and it's going to prioritize them over these vendor parts. And another big update is regarding the engineering chat, which we're adding an ability to do actual calculations. So Leo will not only find the right equation for your problem, it'll solve it for you. And it'll also be able to handle more complex scenarios with improved reasoning that we're adding to it. So for instance, if I wanted, in this example with the engine, I wanted to find an engine, a coupling, and a gearbox. Instead of having to write down the parameters for each one and then see the end shaft of the engine and get that as the parameter for the gearbox and so on, Leo will be able to do that for me. It'll find the engine, it'll find the parameters, it'll find the next part, and so on. And all of them are going to fit. So Leo's really going to save a lot of time and effort for engineers, especially in these tiring tasks. And now to demonstrate these coming features, I'll stop sharing and I'll transfer over the microphone to Moti.
So wait a second, let me just share my screen.
Meanwhile, Moti, while you're sharing your screen, first of all, I want to thank you guys for the warm words here. I see some of you are saying that it's the, like we are witnessing the revolution in product design and engineering faster than we thought. And you said that it's great and impressive. We're very happy about that. And but there is a question that I want to address. It's being asked here if it's a mesh or a BREP. It means that a parametric model yet. So here it's only a mesh, but Moti is going to share with you the other part. But before sharing this and handing it over to Moti, two things. First of all, I want to thank for the people behind the scenes, behind this wonderful product here. So you can see them here, Chevy and David, Dimion, Itamar, Eitan, Gil, Meitar, Sapir. Those are the dream team, the people that are mechanical engineers and AI researchers that we literally stole from top schools in the States, in Israel, around the world. So everything is thanks to them. The other thing is, please, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Leo and what you love the most? So thank you so much for the emojis, guys. Love it. So I want to hear right for you here on the chat. Maybe Chevy will help me to put the list of links, right, that will allow you to fill out a specific survey. Or you know what, beforehand, Chevy, could you start the poll maybe? We'll do a quick poll.
Yeah, it's already started.
Oh, wonderful. So guys, you see the poll here on the screen. If you have problems, please write here on the chat. We want to hear from you only in 10 seconds. Tell us what you liked most about what Eitan showed you. What is the feature that you liked most, right? The 3D mesh generation, the image generation, the 2D generation, part retrieval, SolidWorks integration, whatever, right? So let's take a few more seconds and fill it out, please. Chevy, do we see the numbers going up?
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful. So Taru says he likes all the features. So it's a problem. You cannot, there is no option. Maybe next time. Can I do a bill of materials? So we'll have later a session for Q&A, okay? We'll get to it. Okay, so yeah, Moti, take it away. Meanwhile, guys, keep filling out the survey.
Okay, so hello everybody. I'm Moti Moravia, and I'm the co-founder and CTO of Leo AI. And as Mor said, knowing for a long time now, it was our long dream to establish Leo to help us with our problems, but everybody's problem actually. So I also have a bachelor degree and master degree in mechanical engineering, and then a few years practicing mechanical engineering for heavy machinery, and then as an AI researcher, pivoting my career, pretty similar to Mor. So really happy to be here with you guys. So what we're going to see right now is the upcoming features. We'll start from the couple of days next features that we are going to release. It's still a staging version of our environment, so it means that we might see some errors. I'm not hiding anything, so we'll just try again if we see them, and you'll see what's coming up. Okay, so let's do it. Let's ask Leo how to calculate the radius of the rotor of a dual rotor drone. Okay, just to continue the last example you've seen. So first of all, Leo we've added something that is called the task planning. It means you're not going to see it all the time. It's going to be hidden. But it's helping Leo to think what are the right tasks to do, and you can see his way of thinking. Then now you can see that Leo is searching in the textbooks like you've seen previously. And in a second, you'll see the result of this search. Again, this is pretty similar to what Eitan have shown you, but now I can ask Leo, calculate it for 15 kilogram drone. Okay, so now Leo, again, will think about what he needs to do. He's saying, okay, I need to calculate it. Sometimes if we have multiple steps, as Eitan said, it will give me those multiple steps. And now what's important that you see that Leo actually have written me some code with this specific equation, pretty complex, could be pretty complex equation, and is writing code and solving it. Okay, something that previously you have needed to do, like in MATLAB, for example. As an engineer, I've used it a lot. And Leo can do it all. You can do analytical solving of equations. You can do even numerical solving of equations. Like it can do it everything. And please try it. And if you see when it will be live, if you see any problem with what it can solve or not, please let us know. So this is very important for engineers. And actually, I can tell you that if I needed to solve this problem, like just give me the size of the rotor, probably it was going to take me 2 days to think about the solution, how to calculate it and do the calculation stuff. So yeah, pretty nice. And next up, we can actually ask him, find me in the internet a drone that weighs like this. Okay, so now actually we have connected Leo to the internet. So up until now, it was only from our closed list of sources. Now it's very important to be connected to the internet for things that you cannot access from our local sources. So here you can see that they've searched me some multiple solutions, and I can click on them and see those solutions, okay? So sorry about that, wait a second. Okay, so it's from China, so I cannot access it, but why it doesn't give me to get back. Wait a second, I will stop my share and maybe it will help me.
Meanwhile, I'll just answer another question that I've seen. Ronan is asking if Leo is able to cite sources. So Moti, maybe down the road, like in the next example, you can show exactly how you're asking a technical question and Leo provides you with a link to a source that opens up at the right page for this specific question.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we've seen it just now. Like I didn't click on them because we've seen it with Eitan as well, but here you can see this technical question is from those sources, 1 or 2, and you can click on it. And I hope you see my screen. You can see the equation here, okay? Thrust coefficient, torque coefficient. And actually we have so many sources so you can ask him everything and it's probably going to have some source on it. So it's really nice. And you can click on those sources from the online. Okay, and this one was blocked by China, so I cannot access it. But other ones, like Leo, wasn't blocked. But other ones, you can click and see the sources. Let's see this one, for example. So we can see here 7 best options for lift drones, for example. So you find me some sources and I can pick from them. Okay, so now let's move on. So those are going to be released in the next following days. So we will announce it, obviously, and I invite you to use it and tell us how it looks like. Okay, what you're seeing right now is something that is a little bit more farther, but it's fresh out of the oven of our research lab. So the research lab is working very hard on creating unique models for you guys, for mechanical engineers, because ChatGPT and all of those models are never helping mechanical engineers, not by having those sources and stuff, or by being able to deal with 3D and understand 3D. So what's really important about what we're doing is our model ability, Leo AI, the model we call Leo, the ability to understand 3D, to understand BRAP and generate BRAP. So as we said, what you've seen before in the live demo was an STL, not an STL, but a mesh, okay, a .glb. But what you're going to see right now is all about BREP and about engineering, okay? So everybody can guess this is a crankshaft, of course, and this is just for visualization. It's not something from our app, okay, just to explain. So what you're seeing below is different options of parts to add to this assembly and the different probabilities that Leo assigned to each one of them. And Leo's task is to predict the next part, or by adding an instruction, as you see in the live demo, just telling what you want, or just statistically what should be the next part, because Leo understands the 3D, understands engineering, okay? So of course, we're choosing the highest probability. And what's important, really important right now, more important than the previous demo that you've seen before, is that Leo puts it in the right place for you. And why it's so important? Because now I can take it as an input to the next stage and generate the next part in this assembly, okay? Based on the previous geometry. And this part will fit the geometry, the other parts in the assembly. So this is why it's so important, because, you know, as engineers, we don't really care about text to code if it's just one part, right? Like nobody is designing one part. Engineers is only about assemblies. And this is the reason why parts looks like they look, because of the assembly, right? So this is actually the first time ever that we know about, at least, that any AI model has been able to generate an assembly for you. So this is really groundbreaking and paves the way toward the day, our vision that Maor have shared with you, that you could tell your like complex task in 3D and Leo will generate you complete assemblies and with BREP. So the first feature that is going to be released from this angle, like being able to predict the next part, is going to be to retrieve the next part from your inventory or open source inventory. But then in a few months, we're going to release the 3D generation, I mean BREP generation, not just the mesh generation. And then and of course, we'll announce every upgrade, and we really invite you to test it and give us feedback, because it's really important for us to have your feedback. Okay, we're developing cutting edge features for you, and we can do a lot of things, but you guys help us to really do the right thing. So please share with us your feedback in the support email, in our Slack channel, everywhere you can find us. Please share your feedback. So please, Maor, I will give you back the stage.
Thank you so much, Moti. And just one quick question, Moti, just for the sake of the question, can you please just reshare the screen again and show how we can access high fidelity sources from articles and books?
Yeah, of course.
Engineering? Go ahead.
So I will share the screen again. Wait a second. So let's move on. Let's go back here. I will just copy the question just for me to spare me the writing again. But you can actually try those cards, and it will just to think about what Leo can do. Anyway, you're writing some kind of a technical question, and if Leo thinks it's a technical question, is going to direct your answer to answer your question only if it has the sources for it, okay? So what happened now is that Leo have taken your question, have searched our database of documents, and is giving this answer based on those documents. And here is giving you the sources of those documents. And it could be a long list of sources, it could be even 15 different sources, or it could be just 2. And you can click on them, and you should click on them to do 2 things. One is to verify the answer, because it's really, if you're doing engineering, you're probably dealing with something that is important, okay? And we know it that you cannot just trust random just answers from an online forum, right? So you should read it, okay? Don't just trust Leo blindly, okay? Read the sources. It's really easy. It's giving you the right page, right? So read the sources, understand that it's true. You can read further on this specific subject. You can see a lot of information here if you want. And by this, you can have those sources.
Yeah.
So I hope it answered the question more.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So I will take it away in your permission. And by the way, while I'm sharing the screen, just I want to tell you that before, I want just to express how important your feedback is. Before, you know, several versions back, we after you clicked on a source, Leo opened the entire book for you. But we had one engineer They told us, look, guys, I'm too tired to go through the entire and scroll through the entire book. So open the book, the source, right in the right page. So it will save me scrolling time. So we've done that. And then she asked to add 2 pages back and 2 pages next. So now we open, the right page with 2 pages from each side that basically will save you scrolling time. One thing that we love to hear from you guys, from our customers and users, is quotes like the following one. Quote, I ditched ChatGPT for good. I trust only Leo because it allows me to feel more confident and secure with my decisions. End quote. So this, it says a lot for us. So after you fill out the survey, let's go ahead and let's hear out how other engineers are using Leo today. And I just want to share with you something behind the scenes, guys. This is our obsession, right? You are our obsession. And to express it, every Thursday in Leo AI offices, religiously, in our happy hour, we read those kind of testimonials. We hear different things that you guys told us. So we compiled different testimonials of engineers from a variety of countries, variety of industries, and varieties of experience levels. And let's hear them out, what they're saying about Leo. The last one is gonna surprise you very much. So please be patient to the last one. Can you hear the sound?
In a nutshell, our main challenge is to keep driving innovation, to work faster and smarter, to avoid mistakes.
This is a real screen recording by
product.
HP engineers using Leo.
Can help us to do this. I'm confident about this partnership. I think that this process will improve our design. I really think that Leo has the potential to change the way we think, we do engineering, we design better products.
It's at least gonna take me 7 to 21 days to get what I was able to create with Leo in like 3 hours. I mean, I'm probably taking away about 10 to 12 hours of pay. So somebody charging me $250 an hour to design, that's $2,500 that I'm saving.
We had this project which involved mechanical questions for a medical equipment we designed for some startup, and we were looking for specific ways to make the product smaller and more efficient. And I think Leo gave us a few different ways of thinking and finding the solution that was right for our client. When I have Leo 24/7, I consult with it all the time. Okay? We use Leo on a daily basis for small questions, but all the time. Whereas if I need to consult with an engineer, I would wait a few days till I get a few questions to ask at once, or till I get the answers back. Could take a few days. We're less dependent on outsourced engineers. We get answers in a few minutes instead of a few days, and much more than that, it opens our minds to new thinking of directions for us and for our users.
So, as I promised, this is the surprise. This is Bertrand Sicot. He's the former CEO of SolidWorks himself. And today I'm very happy to say that he's one of the very renowned people on our advisory board and working with us to provide the best version for Leo just for you guys. And let's hear him out, what he thinks about Leo.
These are the keys on the mechanical. How can we make sure that when you are looking for something, you have been leveraging all the human experience on the mechanical engineering? This is what Leo AI does. And last but not least, if we can make sure that we have the CAD integration working well with the applications such as Leo AI, it would be perfect. So these are the key things that could be right away in production and used by the users, because they are dying for this progress. It's not a question of is it easy to use or whatsoever. No, it's a question of the value you get using solutions like Leo AI. And it's a no-brainer. With AI applied to engineering, it's only a step further. But this one is a big one, and the value that this new tool will bring to humanity is very significant. And applied to engineering, the creativity of people like you and others will help the engineering community to find the right use case faster than we can.
So this is just a handful of the feedback that we're getting on a daily basis, just for the privilege to work with you guys, our Leo users. So just some of you are asking about the opportunity to invest in Leo. So here Rega is saying I suggest to have some Leo shares available to public to buy for the first users. We have a product revolution, so we should have a business model revolution as well. We will consider it, but meantime you can buy Moti's shares. I know the price is exceeding, right? So but we'll get back to Rega. Thank you so much for this. So as I told you before, Leo was never available to buy online, right? No one could buy Leo. It basically was a secret of only the people that used it for free, that got very limited capabilities out of Leo. And some of the users that literally were very aggressive with us and told us, guys, I'm out of credits, please let me pay. So we provided them our bank details and they wired transferred the cost. The price today is $1,800 per year for a seat. But just because of this, event and webinar, we offer just for the next 24 hours, 12% off. So instead of $1,800, we're offering Leo in $1,584. And it's available here on the link below. So here on the chat, maybe Chevy will send again the message, right? And you can click on it and just pay in a very easy process using a credit card. So let's go ahead and make sure that you have it, right? Let me get it to you in a second, right? This is the link. Okay, can you see it here? Right, this is the first link here. Just click on subscribe to Leo Premium, 12% off. It sends you to a Stripe page, exactly like you could see here. And just, get yourself a discount, which is an exclusive one for the next 24 hours. So you asked about where the company is based. The company is an American company, and we have R&D in different countries around the world. Yeah. So there is another opportunity, which I'm super excited about. And I'm excited about because this is an opportunity to not only be a part of the AI revolution in our domain, in mechanical engineering, is not to be on the, on the back seat, but to be on the driver's seat of the revolution. And I will explain. As I told you at the beginning, the AI revolution in our field is inevitable. It's gonna be here. So we in Leo AI, this is our mission. This is what we want to bring to the world. Our only way to do it is to interact with you, to put the product in your hands. And when I'm saying you, I'm speaking about a squad, like a very small team of hand-picked engineers. We call it the Leo squad, the pioneers. We find them as pioneers in the field from various countries, from various industries, from various levels of experience. And we bring them, Leo, the newest features that we develop, we bring first to them before it meets the other customers. And they tell us, look, guys, it's horrible. Or look, guys, this is amazing. Or just change this and that, and then I will be happy. So those guys, what they're telling us to do, we're doing. We're extremely committed to to those people, the Leo squad. Again, people from around the world, a handful of them. If you want to join to the pioneering team, if you're asking me, I know maybe it sounds like a cliche, but I'm happy for the fact that we are living in a very exciting times, if you're thinking about it. Like, the people that invented SolidWorks and invented Creo back in the 60s and the early 90s, for example, John Hershik and John McElhaney, the goats of the world, they're telling to their grandchildren, the world builds stuff, cars, phones, using my software, using something that I shaped. Those guys in the Leo squad, what they're telling us is the fact that they're happy that they have the opportunity to be a part of the leaders of this revolution. So if you want to join the squad, you have to do two things. First of all, to subscribe, because it's open only for our customers, right? We want to make them happy. And this is like a token of seriousness, if you will. The other thing is to apply. And as I shared with you before, a list of links, right? The second link is the link to the application. Not all of the subscribers the Leo subscribers can join the squad, right? So in order to be a part of it, you have to apply. We ask you several questions based on your background and your willingness and commitment to share your feedback. According to this, we accept you potentially to our team, to the squad. How the interaction looks like, we have a WhatsApp group and a Slack group. And basically, every time that we launch a new release, we hand it over to you. We have Zoom meetings, phone calls, or just on the chat. And we make sure that we make you as happy as possible. This is how we work. And we need your commitment, okay? Before I forget, guys, please subscribe to our next webinar. We are gonna do a webinar once a month, give or take. The next one is gonna be on March 11th. The link, I'm gonna put it again. Okay, I'm sorry for spamming the chat. So this is the third link. Just click there, subscribe to the next webinar. We're gonna share with you other things. How I'm so sure that there's gonna be different things and other news. During the last year, we launched, maybe I said it before, 300 software updates, right? It means more than one update a day, right? And we're doing so because we're so obsessed about you and making you happy. So we build, measure, learn very fast. So in the next month, in the next webinar, you're gonna see the newer features, the next features. So please be there, to share your feedback with us, get maybe other discounts when they're gonna be, I cannot promise, right? And other opportunities, so don't miss this opportunity as well. And this is the time to run a Q&A survey, Q&A sessions. So we are here all ears. By the way, I know that the time is basically the time limit is 4 minutes from now, but I'm gonna stay here even more, and the team is gonna stay here even more to answer your questions. So make sure that you're happy and satisfied. Before doing so, this is the dream team. We're so proud of them, so proud of you guys, the Leo members. Those people, we literally stole them from, elite schools, from Microsoft, from Elbit Systems, from U Chicago, from MIT. Those people, every day are working to take us as human engineers to the day that AI is going to offload all the serious tasks from us and bring the revolution to us. So yeah, kudos for you guys. Thank you so much for your part. So I'm going to leave this, slide on, and I'm here to answer your questions, guys. So, one question that I've seen several times is about the IP, right? So about the IP, I mean the intellectual property of Leo's outputs. So what I'm saying here, you can write it in the documents on our website as well, but the outputs of Leo belongs to you. Like you can use it for commercial use, right? This is our goal, right? To make you more successful, to get more business, to win more bids, I don't know, to sell more products. So the results are yours, right? So Oz is asking, I'm working on an NDA protected project. What about confidential issues? So if you are Leo, like paying customer, it's all yours, right? The outputs are yours. We cannot take a credit and for those. So everything that you use Leo for while paying Leo, right? The offer that he's on the screen, it's yours, it's protected, and so you're all set, right? I hope it answers your question, Oz. Okay, so based on which AI engine Leo is built, Alexandros is asking. Moti, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, of course. So our AI model is a completely new kind of foundational model. It's like a ChatGPT, like the LLM, the large language model. What we call it the LMM, the large mechanical model. It means that this model is trained to understand 3D. This is why you cannot find any of those features like understanding 3D and talking about it and getting the prediction of the next part in any other AI model. So yeah, it's completely new kind of model. Okay, so not based on any other.
Yeah, in other terms, thank you, Moti. In other terms, like ChatGPT, OpenAI is developing their own. It's called foundational model, right? ChatGPT, which is fantastic on understanding text and generating text. Us, in product design, it's not the business. The business is assemblies and geometry, and this is what the fantastic people here are working on. So yeah, let's open the Q&A session. I don't have access to it. Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah, it's here. So yeah, let's choose one. Let's choose one. Chevy, would you like to choose something for us? So many there. Oh, I see here something interesting. Are there research papers or other publications for work, i.e. your foundational model? So yeah, you are, Leo is able to cite papers and different books. And there was another question, if you have to pay for access those. So no, while you're paying Leo, all the sources that you get from Leo is no extra charge. Everything is embedded in the payment that you provide to Leo. Like this payment that you see here, $1,584. You don't need to pay a cent more. Another thing which is very important, and it's another benefit of purchasing Leo now, is not only you get the newest features before everyone, the price is locked for the entire year, and I will explain. During the next several weeks and months, we're gonna launch very advanced AI features that are gonna cost more. So the price of Leo is gonna increase. If you paid now, so this price, basically you secure the current price. Even if the price is gonna be, I don't know, like X times larger or higher, you're not gonna be charged even $1 more. I hope it made sense. Okay? Can I use it on my laptop and my office computer for one seat? Randy is asking. The answer is yes. You can log in from your, basically while you purchase Leo, you get an account and you can open it on any computer that you want. You're just logging in through an email and a password, or through a Google account, Google authentication or Microsoft authentication, and you're good to go on many machines or computers as you'd like. So yeah, so I answered this one live. Yeah, so this is a question by Vinayak Kane. Is it possible to optimize design based on measurement capabilities, AG availability of CMM machines? Moti, do you have an answer for this?
Yeah, so currently we are not having some kind of an optimization based on those kind of features. But as we said, if it's important and you are part of the Leo squad, and so it might be our next feature.
And again, we're dead serious about it. So as I mentioned before, like if it's something that we are not doing, and you as a squad member telling us, look, guys, I don't know, if you turn Leo to be pink, it's gonna save me 10 hours a day. We'll tell you, okay, no problem, and we'll think about it internally. If it's indeed aligned with our product roadmap, we'll consider doing so. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Eitan, but I think something like 60% of the features that we release, 70% come from users' feedback, something like that.
Well, you could say even 100% comes from user feedback, but
yeah,
sometimes we think about it first, sometimes they give us the idea.
Yeah. So yeah, Ziv Lederman is asking what happens with my data. So if you're paying Leo, if you have a paying Leo seat, basically we're not touching your data. The data is yours, it's protected, we don't have access to it. Okay, so Leo has an access to this only like on your account, but we don't get access to this data. So Leo is not sharing this with us, right? Leo is trained for you to be better for you, but we don't have access to this knowledge. I hope I answered your question. Your IP is yours, your data is yours, we don't need it, we don't want it. This is the deal as long as you are paying Leo customer for the yearly subscription. So Yotam is asking, can you guide the chat for data sheet that are not block from Israel IP. I'm not aware of a specific block. We don't have a geography-based block. So, Eitan, would you like to answer this? My
Yeah,
answer
we
is
don't
I'm not
have
sure we
any
have a
blocks.
block.
No, we don't have any blocks.
Yeah, so no blocks. Yotam, Mazel Tov. Clement, if Leo helps me to design parts and assemblies, can we use Leo to start from an assembly and consolidate the assembly to make it as a single part instead of multiple ones? So you mean to take a CAD and to turn it into a mesh? So, Eitan, would you like to take that?
Is that the first question in the Q&A?
No, it's not the first one. I'm not sure. It's a question by Clement, 1858.
Did you repeat that?
So,
I'm not.
Sure. So, I think Clement is asking if we can start from an assembly and turn it into a single part mesh.
Oh. No, but you can do that with pretty much any CAD editor, I think, if you just save it as a neutral format and then as an STL, or just save it as an STL. You don't need us for that.
Another thing that you can do, if you insist not to do it through a CAD tool, you can just, it's funny, but you can just take a picture of your screen, like of the model, and just shove it into Leo, like Eitan have done, right? You just import the picture, just hit generate, and Leo, design a 3D mesh for you. So I guess that it does it. But if it exists, if you're using SolidWorks, for example, as Eitan said, just go ahead and do it with SolidWorks. We're real fans of SolidWorks as well. Jalandar T is asking, can we import manufacturing drawings and create? Oh, we can import manufacturing drawings and create 3D, 2D to 3D model. Yeah, so basically you can import 2D images and generate the 3D mesh out of it. Another thing that you can do is take the text out of your textual requirements. For example, it's not in your question, but if you have text that are requirements for the product, you can just copy and paste it into Leo. Leo will take this text. Maybe you can edit the 2D drawings that you have, and it will generate a mesh for you. Yeah, so an anonymous attendee asked, what about my original design? How secure is SolidWorks add-on with another users could get access to it using the right question? So the answer is no. As I mentioned before, what you're doing with Leo is top secret only for you. Neither us nor any other user in the world has access to what you've done with Leo, your data, your models, anything, right? So it's protected. Next question by Cindy Lee. Do you publish your foundational mechanical model research somewhere so we can have a read? I want to see how the model generation is training. So unfortunately, not now, Sydney, not now. We want to monetize it, so this is the reason. Yeah. Next question, but maybe one day after we will be public. Tanmoy. One, what about my data and queries? As I mentioned before, it's all yours, protected. Does the subscription come with the trial? Basically, yeah, you can start with a free trial for a limited time. I'm not sure that you have access to all the features. Maybe Eitan will elaborate. Would you guarantee us that as first users, we will not be paying any higher than the next users? As I mentioned before, during this year of subscription that you purchase, yes, and you can take my word. Even if the price is going to be tenfold higher, you're not going to be charged even 1 penny more during this time. After this time, right, it's another story, but during this year of subscription, you're all set. You won't be charged even a cent more. I hope it made sense then. Oh, and I hand it over to you, Eitan, about the trial, right? Free trial if they have access to it in the paid version.
Yeah, sure. And not just in the paid version, of course, we'll give a trial. It is going to be limited by the number of queries you can try out, but everyone in this session will get a free trial of Leo before you need to commit to any type of payment. So yeah.
Yeah. What is your release cycle, Erez? I'm not sure that I understand your question. When you're saying release, you mean the software release? So we build something, put it out there, get feedback, and just release another version, like as soon as possible, right? That's what the magic team here is doing. Like Gil, Badani, and David, and Moti, and Max. Those are the dev team. The other guys are the wonderful researchers: Sapir, Dimion, Meitar, Itamar, and the other guys. Yeah. Can Leo interpret 2D blueprints into 3D models? Can it understand coding? And NDT called out. This is a question by Ziv. So interpret 2D blueprints into 3D models. Eitan, would you like to take it away?
Sure. It is actually recommended in what I showed you with ideation to sketch to your best ability what you want to create. But the thing is, Leo at this stage in ideation works best with understanding your intention, and your intention is best given by drawing an isometric drawing. So not a manufacturing, not a blueprint, not a 2D sketch of views like a top view or a front view of what you're making, but the actual estimated isometry of it. In the future, when we work with proper BREP and engineering models, yeah, of course, we'll also be working with drawings and getting sketches and everything that has to do with manufacturing. But at this stage, as you've seen, it's more about initiating design and starting the design process. But it's coming soon.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay, next question. Oh, are there plans to offer 3D concepts in other file formats? I work in Rhino and would love to see an editable NURB surface. Eitan.
It's an interesting question. Well, Rhino can definitely hand mesh better than SolidWorks, so you can try that out. And regarding other formats, so what we're doing in the research and what Moti showed you, we're trying out different formats and different things, and also some new formats you probably haven't heard of. So it might be that the end result will be NURBS. It might be something completely new, completely different. We don't really know yet. But you can try out Mesh and Rhino, easy peasy.
Easy peasy. And another question by anonymous attendee. Again, handle data security. We answer this. Security exists. We don't touch your data. No one knows about your data. As long as you are a paying customer of Leo. Some months ago, you also had content on your blog about generating 3D models from 2D drawings. Is it still being pursued? So generating 3D models from 2D drawings. So now it's what's available is the 2D concept or 2D images into 3D mesh, like you've seen. The next stage, as Moti said, and as Eitan elaborated later on, we're working on not only mesh generation, but 3D assembly, BREP, parametric models. It means with all the feature tree and assembly tree and part tree, I'm sorry. Yeah. But from 2D drawings in terms of the two-dimensional drawing themselves. So it's interesting to see Leo's results today. Eitan, what do you think about importing, like as an input to Leo, 2D drawings and how it's working with this today?
So yeah, we kind of answered that before. Basically, right now, if you try to import a 2D image of one view of a model, Leo can't guess what it's going to look like because it doesn't have any depth. In order for it to have depth, you need to draw something in an isometric view. So it has all three dimensions. And that way it can kind of figure out what it's supposed to look like. So a 2D drawing is not good for that. You can try it out, you'll get bad results.
Yeah. So Tal, I don't really understand your answer, Tal Lior. So Eitan, maybe give it a read meanwhile while I'm going to the next question, and then try to answer this question. Dima, you're asking how to reach a high level of confidence in AI answers, so you don't need to double check anything, everything it says. References are great, but it's still a way of saying, here, check me and my answers, because I have no ways of checking myself. So let's start from the, from the results, from the users data. Every week, religiously, we interview something like 5 engineers. This is not in the best week that we have, right? And we're asking them how confident you are with Leo's responses. A lot of them, and the number is increasing from week to week, they're saying, I'm confident with Leo's answers more than Google and more than ChatGPT and more than other technology. If one day you will be able to, trust Leo or any technology completely, I believe you could, but you shouldn't, right? Because us engineers, even down the road, when AI is gonna be, Leo is gonna be able to do everything for us, design a coffee machine for us, I think the added value for us as human engineers is to guide and supervise the process. So you want to have your hands on the wheel. You want to be the one that's making the decisions, but you want to an AI that will summarize all the data, all the information for you. So to summarize, yeah, basically you can trust Leo with your eyes folded if you're asking our customers. If you're asking me, you shouldn't do it. You should trust yourself, read the papers, and even include, just as copy paste using Leo, you can just hit one button on the chat and you get the entire answer copied, and put those on the documentations of your product design, and show your supervisors and your future self what resources you were based on, right? So I hope it answered your question. Eitan, would you like to answer the previous question?
Where do you see the previous question?
It vanished. I'm not sure. So yeah, maybe it was deleted
What was it?
by the user. Not sure. Yeah. So Yotam is asking something in gibberish. So it's Hebrew letters, but maybe he's stuck on caps lock. I'm sorry, I can't understand that. Sorry, Yotam. Nitzan is asking, can Leo help me with document files such as assembly instructions? Yeah, take it away, Eitan.
Yeah, actually on our roadmap, one of the next features is going to be a module dedicated for documents. So not unlike what you've seen already, similar to that, but a standalone feature to handle different documents, make them based off of whatever you use in your organization. You can give it a few sample documents of some type, of some different types, create your own templates, and Leo will help you a lot, generating a lot of these documents you do over and over that look the same but have slight variations, with different parts, different requirements. Leo's going to be a great help for that.
Yeah. Hagai is asking, do you plan to work on other integration to other CAD programs? So the answer is down the line, absolutely yes. We're working with additional integrations today, but we're very open to change the plan and do other integrations sooner than the others. How we choose it based on our customer base. So our customers are basically in another level than the others, and we're working on their success. So if you're becoming a customer, and of course, if you become a Leo squad member, we're here to change our plans for you, assuming that, again, that makes sense with our roadmap as well. So Hagai, yeah, we are open to this. And if you want to take it further, please subscribe and join our squad. So Cooper is asking another question, which is exactly for Moti, right? Are you using variational autoencoders to map the LLM to 3D geometry or some other step? Your mesh just seems so much better than the other work I've seen. Thank you, Cooper. Other than maybe another company. I know your own work on this is probably secret, but any guidance you have for someone studying this would be greatly appreciated. I'm hoping to learn what research I should focus on reading. Moti, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit sorry to disappoint. I'm not going to share too much about what we're doing because it is our core IP. So anyway, we're using the cutting edge research, and actually we're advancing it because again, we're doing something that wasn't been done before. So yeah, it's new, and I'm really sorry, I cannot share more about how we are doing it, if it's a VAE or some other solution. But thank you for your compliments about the level of the product.
Yeah, thank you for that. So Saeed Javari is asking where it just jumped. Let me look for Saeed. Yeah. Yeah. Since we're too lazy, yes, we are. For example, I want to model complicated 3D in SolidWorks, and I don't know how to do it. Does Leo teach me how to do it and solve my problems in SolidWorks, ANSYS, etc.? So, Eitan, would you like to take it?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, so does Leo can assist in guiding us through the design in SolidWorks? Like tell us what to do and how to do it effectively while it's integrated to SolidWorks.
Well, no, that's not the reason we integrated into SolidWorks. And SolidWorks has plenty of very, very good YouTube tutorials exactly for that.
Yeah. However, as you saw, basically you're able to ask Leo questions about SolidWorks, but as Eitan said, Leo is not designed to be a SolidWorks assistant, right? But a design assistant throughout the entire process. But I think the best thing is to try it out. So Said, go ahead and tell us what you think. Niv Craner is asking, can I receive a Parasolid as an input and ask it to improve specific design issues or approve it ergonomically according to standards? Eitan.
Yeah, basically right now you can ask our engineering chat about ergonomics. We have books about that. And you can use those guidelines for design, of course.
But the question is if we can input Parasolid at this stage.
Input where?
To Leo.
Nope.
Not yet. But we're working on different input formats as well. So Eitan, it's on our roadmap, right, to add 3D object as an input as well, right?
Yeah, anything that has to do with reading and understanding 3D objects and 3D models is part of our large mechanical model. So that's on the research side, that's going to be available in the future, not right now, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I hope it was helpful, Niv. Thank you. Carl is asking what output files options would come from Leo for production to produce the design product. So Eitan, you answered about it, right? So can you just repeat what kind of objects or formats?
Right now, it's the GLB format for the mesh files, and the images are JPG, and documents are text, as documents can be.
And by the way, Carl, if you have in your mind other formats that you would like to see Leo generating stuff for you, please, join our squad, tell us, and we will modify. Yeah, so Said is asking, the suggested detailed 3D mesh is active in paid version? Absolutely. Everything that you saw is available on the paid version, right? Everything that you saw, except of the automatic assembly generation that Moti showed. On the other hand, everything that Eitan showed is available on the paid version. So go ahead and just enjoy it. Yeah, thank you, Said. So we are 52 answers questions were answered. Now we're 8 to go, so we'll cover those. Yeah, so Christoph Hansen is asking, can Leo make 2D drawing from 3D models? Not yet, but it is on our roadmap. So to take, and I know, I don't know even a single mechanical engineer that loves drawings. It's a horrible part of our profession, but it is on our roadmap to take 3D objects, 3D assemblies, and generate drawings out of them. But yet to come, right? So I hope it was helpful, Christoph. So Tam is saying, Nathan, what will you suggest? So his name is Eitan. Eitan, what will you suggest for Onshape, Shaper 3D users? At this stage, can we download and be able to use this mesh in our usual environment, or has it to be on SolidWorks? Eitan, what do you say?
Yeah, you should be able. If you have any problem with the GLB file, you can always use a free online tool to convert it to whatever format does work for you. But Onshape should handle it no problem.
Yeah. So another thing, as I mentioned before, Tam, we're working on more integrations. So you will be able to use Leo with other CAD tools soon. I cannot guarantee exactly when. And again, it's going to be dictated by our customers and specifically the squad members. And also soon we're going to launch, different output formats that will allow you to download the Leo mesh, the mesh generated by Leo for a variety of formats. So I hope it was helpful. Yeah, so, two more questions. Yeah, so yes, 2D technical drawing interpreter is something I've had on my idea list for long. With that, it would open the opportunity to generating 3D for manufacturers' parts without 3D, allowing rapid prototyping and skipping the needed to spending effort on remodel, commercial parts to start. So anonymous attendee, it also can be done today. So I know that you're thinking about taking a drawing, shoving it into Leo, and get the 3D mesh out of it. Today you can do it also, but not using drawing, but a picture. For example, you're going for an online vendor website. So most of the time, the vast majority of the time, you're able to see, if not the CAD of the part and not a 3D object, you're able to see a picture, right? There is a picture of the product. You could just download a picture or just, take a snapshot of your screen, put it in Leo, and as you could see in Eitan's demo, you can just use Leo to get the 3D mesh. And this is, like you said, saving you the re-engineering or the reverse engineering or the remodeling, like you said, of the commercial parts. So yeah, you're able to do it using Leo today, but not from the drawing, but from the picture. So guys, yes, we've done it. We answered your 58 questions. And guys, just to conclude and summarize, and I'm gonna go back to my deck. I wanted to thank you again. Not only, I will start maybe from the Leo team. I want to start again from thanking those wonderful guys, this dream team that we're so proud of, and we're so fortunate to work shoulder to shoulder with. Thank you for turning this crazy vision into reality, and you're keeping adding layers and layers and making lives of engineers around the world faster, more efficient, but also more joyful than ever before. And guys out there, here on the other side of the camera, thank you so much for participating in our webinar. We had a pleasure answering your, getting your answers, answering them, and just being enthusiastic as us about what we're creating, what we're building, and about how our profession, how mechanical engineering and mechanical design is going to change in the years to come. While you're enjoying our customers base and the Leo squad, we're even more eager to make you happier. So please use those links, subscribe to Leo, join and apply to our Leo squad, and take this opportunity to lead the AI revolution in mechanical design. Join us in rethinking engineering design as an aesthetic process from the ground up. We're so fortunate to have you with us in this wonderful journey, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the next webinar, God willing, on March 11th, same time, same place, same webinar. So use the link that I put here and subscribe, apply to the Leo Squad, and subscribe to the next webinar. Looking forward to see you there again next time. And thank you so much for joining us, guys. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Regardless about where we are around the world, we had a pleasure seeing you here with us. By the way, guys, if you have any more questions, feel free. I'm going to stay here for a few minutes long. Guys from Leo team, of course, you can go home now. So please feel free, guys, to raise your hand, and I will pay attention to your questions. Wonderful. So Kevin, yeah, sorry if I missed your answer earlier. So Kevin, can you repeat your question, please? And Adi, thank you so much for making the time to meet us. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, other Daniel. Thank you, Jonathan. So if you will be able to receive a recording, so we're just frankly speaking, we have to get the permission from our attorneys and our legal team to share this, but we're hope that it's going to be possible to share the recording with the webinar attendees at least. Oh, so Kevin is asking, can Leo use the local files as constraints, material methods? Absolutely. So we're going to talk about it in detail in the next webinar. By then, Leo is going to be able to integrate into your organizational information. Imagine like a Windows directory with your PDF files, with your best practices, etc. And it will be able to answer your questions based on your best practices, and also to leverage your requirements, etc. So the answer is yes, Leo is going to be better for you. Does Leo provide access to ASME and ISO standards? The answer is yes, not to all of them, but to many standards, ISO, MIL standards. Yeah, so try it out, and Leo is can be helpful for you for this as well. My pleasure, Kevin. So Jonathan Farnham is asking, makes sense. Before I go, one final question. Could Leo help in ideation in terms of suggesting alternative joint suggestion designs for an assembly? So the answer is yes. You can import, you can provide Leo with a picture and ask Leo, okay, take this and make it, I don't know, bigger, smaller, made out of wood, made out of material for me. So yeah, Leo can do it for you. How good it's gonna be, you'll tell me. Okay, so I'm not saying Leo is perfect. I'm saying the opposite. Leo is not perfect. The best thing that we can do is to listen to your feedback and optimize for you. So Kevin, my pleasure. Thank you. Lak Letofi is asking, how do you plan to market the product? When subscribing, can we create content freely through the use of the tool? So I guess that the answer to your first question is that we have a plan for this. I think the answer is so long. Maybe we'll talk about it in the next webinar if it makes sense. But if you can use freely the results from Leo, absolutely yes. All the results from Leo are your proprietary IP. It's yours. It's not ours. You're free to use it to get more money, to get more sales, to get more likes on Instagram, whatever. It's yours. So Ethan Regia, I'm working at a company trying to develop something that doesn't have a lot of training data available because it's a new product concept. The big challenge that it's preventing from getting an account, is preventing me to get an account, is that it seems very strong creating versions of existing products, but not great on creating brand new things. What are your thoughts on this, and how it could be improved over time, since the lack of training data is inherent. Okay, so Ethan, great question. So Moti is not here to answer, but basically we train Leo, imagine, on millions and millions of man-made products and pictures and documents, like on huge amounts of data available. So I know that your product is brand new, but imagine that Leo was trained on submarines and cups and tables and I don't know, and bottles. So it's very good on integrating different aspects from different industries. So imagine that you're designing, I'm just hallucinating here myself, right? Imagine that you're designing a new kind of heat transfer solution that it is based on, I don't know, two-phase flow, right? First of a kind. Even though your product was never done before, Leo is very, very much aware to books and different solutions that leverage knowledge on two-phase flow and also heat transfer. So it's able to integrate them for you for a brand new design that was never done before. So it's also providing decent results for our customers, the designing brand new solutions. One of the customers that using Leo, I cannot say the names, but they're designing heat exchangers in very novel technology that was never done before. So they're using Leo to gain very high fidelity market and basically scientific research results, and also to generate solutions that were never designed before. So it's also very good in innovating, not only doing more of the same. I have to add another disclaimer. Yeah, Leo is probably not going to be the first to introduce time machines, right? So if you're designing time machines, something that using physics that were never invented, yeah, Leo is not going to be the one. But we're leveraging all sorts of science and concepts to design new products for you. Yeah, so I hope it was helpful. So yeah, guys, I hope I managed to answer your questions. So if you have more questions, please feel free to hit us on our Slack channel, on our website, emails. I will write here my email. Okay, first of all, the support team. So it's support, I'm writing it here on the chat, support@getleo.ai. This is my personal email, maor@getleo.ai. Also to our office, getleo.ai. In case you have any questions about the procurement process and the billing and everything, even though it's automatic and after you purchase, you get the invoice in your email, this is the email of the billing team. So billing@getleo.ai, very straightforward. And yeah, I think this is basically it. So Luck is asking, where is the Slack? So if you're going to our website, let's go to our website, getleo.ai, and let's hit get Leo. I'm sorry, try Leo out. Maybe I will just share the screen real quick. Let me share the screen. Let me, yeah. Can you see my screen, guys? Wonderful. So we just click here, get started with Leo. You can download the integration into the CAD tools, right? And you can just click here, try Leo in browser. And then below you see chat support, right? You have this email if you want to send an email. And then basically it starts a new email for you, or chat support. And just you ask questions there. We're always available for you to answer any of your questions. I hope it made sense. Wonderful. So guys, take care. Thank you so much for your time, and looking forward to the next webinar. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.